Hey dudes, SilviteSoltis here, back again with another Classic WoW loot video. Today, we're diving into the epic content of Phase 5, where players across Azeroth are heading into the desert sands of Silithus to face off against the horrors of Ahn'Qiraj. With its massive 40-player raid, AQ40 brings a ton of new content. Powerful bosses, scarab mounts, amazing weapons, and of course, a whole new tier of loot. For many classes, this tier is where you finally start to see significant upgrades. And with so many new drops, it can be overwhelming to figure out what you should be aiming for. So, in this video, I'm breaking down some of the top loot from AQ40 for every major role: tanks, healers, casters, and physical DPS. Whether you're building out a full best-in-slot list, or just trying to figure out what to prioritize grabbing first, this guide should help to point you in the right direction. That said, I do want to mention one quick note before we dive in. To keep things fair and role-focused, I'm only including one item per role from Cthulhu, since basically everything he drops is a Abyss item. And it wouldn't really be particularly interesting to just list out his loot table. I'll also be skipping over the Tier 2.5 sets, since they're class-specific and not role-specific. As always, if you enjoy the video or find it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you don't miss future Classic WoW content. But with that out of the way, let's get started. Tanking in Ahn'Qiraj is no walk in the park. With high damage trash packs, debuff heavy bosses like Princess Huhuran, and unique tank central encounters like the Twin Emperors, tanks need a strong mix of mitigation, stamina, and threat generation to survive and perform. As usual in Classic, warriors remain the go-to for main tanking, though feral druids definitely have their place within the tunnels. Fortunately, AQ40 delivers several gear pieces that dramatically enhance survivability and allow tanks to hold aggro more effectively in this brutal raid environment and beyond. Whether you're looking to boost your armor, stack more threat, or finally feel less squishy in Bugtown, these are the best tank pieces you'll want to keep an eye out for. Starting off, there's the amazing leather helmet Geyser the Devourer from the optional Bug Trio encounter. With a ton of stamina, agility, and armor, this helm is perfectly itemized for bear tanks. And, on top of that, it's got an extra 1% dodge. What's not to love? For warrior tanks though, there's the amazing Pauldrons of the Unrelenting from Thancred the Unyielding. While not much to look at visually, these shoulders provide great mitigation and defensive stats. And since Thancred is a mandatory encounter, you're pretty likely to pick up a pair. Finally, the Mark of Cthulhu from Cthulhu himself is an absolutely astonishing neck for all classic tanks. It's got stamina, hit, dodge, and defense, making it a perfect item to finish your AQ farming with. Before moving on, I want to briefly mention that there's a ton of warrior DPS items that warrior tanks would love to have as well, most notably the Tier 2.5 Conqueror set. So consider all of those as a big honorable mention if you're playing a warrior tank. Healers in AQ have their work cut out for them. Between raid-wide poison damage, intense single-target burst, and long fights like the Twin Emperors and Cthulhu, you'll be spamming heals, chugging mana pots, and dispelling debuffs non-stop. That said, AQ40 offers some incredible upgrades for healers. Many of these items provide massive plus healing bonuses and high regen, but now with the addition of more core stats like stamina and intellect, something sorely lacking on many BIS items from earlier phases. If you're looking to round out your gear for Naxx, these drops will help you go the distance. To start with, the Robes of the Guardian Saint from Thancred are among the best chest items healers can acquire in the entire game. With a whopping 70 plus healing and a huge 7 mana per 5, it's no wonder you'll see so many healers donning this dress. Next up are the Bracelets of Royal Redemption from the Twin Emperors. These best-in-slot bracers offer the highest plus healing for any wrist item in the game, and should most definitely be on your watch list. Finally, the Scepter of the False Prophet from Cthulhu is the crown jewel for all healers in AQ. 187 plus healing is just too good to pass up, And on top of that, it's even got stamina, intellect, and a bit of MP5 for good measure. A weapon truly worth the struggle of defeating this old god. If you're a caster DPS like a major warlock, AQ40 is an absolute treasure trove of powerful loot. From spell power and crit to the ever-needed plus hit, this raid is loaded with items that can help you burn through bugs in record time. Mages, warlocks, balanced druids, and elemental shamans all get some much needed love here, with several BIS pieces that will last straight through Naxx. While some of the loot can be very spec specific, there are quite a few universal pieces that every caster will be rolling on. To start, the Wand of Ahn'Qiraj nobility from the optional bug trio near the beginning is the best wand in the game until, arguably, Kel'Thuzad's Doomfinger. Note that you'll need to kill Lord Kree last to see this drop, however. For casters rocking the solid one-hander, the Royal Scepter of Veclor offhand from the Twin Emperors encounter is a perfect complement. It has literally some of every stat you could want: stam, int, hit, crit, and a solid plus 20 to spell damage. Really, it's a perfect item. Finally, the Darkstorm Gauntlets from Cthulhu are an absolutely essential set of gloves. With a whopping plus 37 spell damage and additional plus hit, you'll definitely want to save your DKP for this. Or bribe your loot council, whatever works. As a bit of a bonus, I want to note that Cthulhu drops two more equally amazing caster items: the Cloak of the Devoured and the Eyestalk Waistcord. So if you don't see those gloves, there's still some great loot to look forward to. And yeah, I know I'm cheesing my own list rules here, but wanted to mention them anyway. For rogues, warriors, hunters, and even enhancement shamans, AQ brings a serious upgrade to your damage potential. There are several hard-hitting weapons, crit-boosting accessories, and a handful of armor pieces with crazy high stats that make the raid a goldmine for physical DPS. Many of these items scale exceptionally well into future content as well, making them long-term staples for any Parse Chaser's gear set. To start things off, we've got the Breastplate of Annihilation from the very first boss, Prophet Scarum. This chest has stats that every warrior wants: massive strength, hit, and crit. Considering this comes from the very first boss, it's a great item to snag right from the get-go. Moving through the raid, the Barbed Choker from Thancred is pretty much the best neck you can ask for. High attack power, crit, and a bit of stamina for good measure. And again, since Thancred is required to move through the raid, you can definitely expect to see this drop a few times. Toward the end of the raid, the Karaji Execution Bracers from the Twin Emperors provide any and all melee DPS with hit, strength, agi, and stamina. A perfect spread of useful stats to get you prepped and ready for Naxx. Finally, the Dark Edge of Insanity from Cthulhu stands among the likes of Thunder Fury and Atiesh. While not an official legendary, its stats and legacy might as well be. With a massive plus 35 strength, over 86 damage per second, and a useful proc effect, this weapon is every warrior, paladin, and shaman's wet dream. You'd have to be insane yourself to not want this axe. So yeah, Ahn'Qiraj is a pretty big deal. AQ40 brings a massive wave of new loot to Classic WoW, so whether you're raiding every week or just pugging from time to time, there are some absolutely iconic pieces worth chasing. And while I listed what I feel are the best of the best, we've still hardly scratched the surface. The Eye of Cthulhu quest rewards, Brood of Nozdormu reputation rings, and of course, all of the Tier 2.5 sets are amazing as well. But we simply don't have the time to go over every single item here today. So, as we head into AQ, I'd love to know what you think. What items are you aiming for in the tunnels of Ahn'Qiraj? Did I miss an item from your wish list? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Classic WoW content as we push toward Naxxramas and beyond. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take it easy, guys.